Thank you for joining me today on Good News with Twanda Black, where we're discovering some of the most inspiring trials to triumph stories and empowerment moments. Call up a friend and let them know it's time for some good news. Welcome to Good News with Twanda Black. I'm your host, and we talk with folks from all walks of life about their good news. Because you know what? If your brothers and sisters are doing great, that's good news, and we should celebrate. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this phenomenal guest. Joining us today is Kalenga Mulenga. He is in South Africa, and it is so good to have you. Thank you for getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to talk to me.
It's my pleasure, and thanks for having me.
So Kalenga is a children's book author, 40 published titles, and they were all just phenomenal titles. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Have you always been a writer? How did you grow up? Do you have siblings?
Okay, yeah, I've always been a writer from as far as back as I can remember. I remember my first book I wrote when I was 10 years old. I was born in Zambia, which is a country in southern Africa.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a journalist. He was actually the first black editor of the Zambia Daily Mail.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there was always a reading and writing culture in the house. I have two brothers and two sisters. One brother has passed away. And the other brother is in the UK. We've got a sister in the UK, and the firstborn sister is back home in Zambia.
Right.
Yeah,
so you travel a lot, huh?
I get around. Yeah, yeah.
So did you go to school in Zambia or South Africa?
Yes. So I went to school in Zambia. My elementary school all the way up to high school, and then I started college in Zambia. I did a few years in England, went back to Zambia, worked a bit, and then moved to South Africa in 1999. So yeah, I've been here quite a while.
All right, so let's talk about your writing career. First book at 10. Do you still have that book, or did you rewrite it?
Yes, that's actually the first book that I published. Obviously, I wrote it when I was 10 years old. It won a writing competition when I was still at back home in Zambia. I think I was in the fourth or third grade, can't remember. But yeah, it won a writing competition, and I wrote another one when I was 11. And that also won a prize and an award. But what I did is in 2020, I think it was just after lockdown, we were on our way home from church, my wife and my three kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my son at the time was 11. He said there was a writing competition at school. And I told my family in the car that, I could be some help. Because I used to write when I was about your age, and none of them believed me. They were just in shock because I'm a qualified accountant. So yeah, once I heard the shock and the laughter, I said, let me try to show these guys what I'm made of. And I dusted everything off, and I still had my first book from when I was 10. I had it in my head. I just rewrote it a bit and renamed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, long story short, I saw that I still had that passion and decided to get it published. And from then, now from 1, it's now 40.
So your books are character. You talk about character issues because that's a huge thing with our kids today. So talk about some of the titles that you've written.
Okay, so they all have like a life lesson attached to them. So the first one, which I did write when I was 10, it was called The Obstinate Donkey, but I renamed it to Donk and the Stubborn Donkeys. So it's
so update, right?
Pardon, I didn't get it?
You updated.
Yes, I updated. Yeah, so it's all about stereotyping and incorrect labeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, the whole world says donkeys are stubborn. But who are we to say that every single donkey is stubborn? So yeah, I try to teach kids that you can't just label and say that a person is like this without actually finding out more about them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I wrote Willa and his best friend Will, which I also wrote well when I was a kid. I just renamed it. That's all about plastic pollution and anti-bullying. Um, it's also about dealing with grief. So that one is for it's not the happiest of books, but it does have
But
a
that's a
happy
good
end.
book. Yeah. For
Yeah,
children,
exactly.
especially. A lot of times, parents, we don't know how to talk to our kids about grief. How do you deal with that yourself? You know?
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And then I've got there's so many. There's Chuck the Cheetah, which is about winning and losing gracefully. You've got Harry and his honest horse, which is about honesty being the best policy. And there's a whole lot of them. And then I'm
So do you
also yeah.
how do you come up with your titles and what you want to write about? Do you just look around at life and say, "Hey, this is a good lesson"?
Yeah, so the titles, obviously, what I did was I asked my family, the kids especially, what their favorite animals were, the top three.
Hmm.
So, yeah, my daughter, I remember, loves pandas and loves horses. The other daughter loved cheetah, and my son loved lions. So I try to incorporate that into the main characters. And then some of them, they were inspired by my kids as well, because Elaine the elephant is about a small elephant who struggles to do what her siblings do, and that's sort of like what my daughter goes through or went through. Now she's
Hmm.
17.
Wow.
Yeah. And then my son, he inspired me to write about winning and losing gracefully, because he always used to be a sore loser. He's a soccer player.
Mm.
So Chuck the Cheetah is about the dangers of arrogance and being a sore loser. So some of them, yeah, I just they're inspired by my kids, and then some of them I can't explain it. The ideas just pop up. Yeah,
Do you have more titles in there?
yeah. You know what? I've got 40 published, but
Hmm.
I've got like over 15 manuscripts. So
Wow.
that I'm just
Now, who
waiting.
does your illustrations?
Okay, so the current illustrations are done by a lady here in South Africa,
Hmm.
a lady I've never actually met because she lives in a different town, but she's sort of like an enigma. She doesn't believe um, in telephone calls. She doesn't believe in WhatsApp, like instant messaging. Everything, the only thing we do is email each other back and forth.
Wow. I know some people like that. They don't want to
So
talk. Email me.
yeah, my wife says, "Nah, I don't think that's a real person. It
Oh,
must be, it must be AI or something."
you know
But
what?
anyway,
No, in this day and time, we never know. We just never know. We never
yeah.
know.
So basically, she's got an in-house thing where she does my editing, she does my cover design, she does my typesetting, and she's got an in-house illustrator. So yeah,
That's
I've
great.
never actually met the illustrator either, but we just go back and forth on email, sharing the ideas. When I'm happy with it, then yeah, voila, the books are ready.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, what age would you say these books are for?
Okay, I should say from remember they say that you can start reading to a child when as soon as they're born.
Hmm.
So I would say from newborn up until, depending on your reading ability and stuff, you could go up to 10. So
Hmm.
newborn to 10 years old, yeah. And I've also got a middle grade novel, which was not self-published. It was published by a little publishing house here in South Africa, and that's for maybe kids up till I would say 14. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
What
And
is
I've
that book
also, yeah.
about?
So that book is a little mystery novel. It's not one of. I just tried to, because I was approached by the lady. She owns a publishing house, and our kids go to the same school. They're not in the same grade, but yeah, she was happy to sign me on. We signed an agreement, and she was interested in a middle grade novel done by a South African author. So my love of soccer, I decided to make it about a little soccer team, and then they win a prize, and the prize goes missing. So it's all about the case of the missing soccer ball.
Just off the cuff here, what is the environment like where you live today?
The environment in South Africa, it's still, Johannesburg is a beautiful country. First of all, the city and the country are beautiful. There's a lot of, what can I say, corruption. So even though it is beautiful and the people are nice, the political environment is not the best at the moment. The good thing is that the past elections, the ANC, the ruling party, they didn't win a majority, and so there's a bit of they're not getting it their own way, should I say. So we've got a lot of opposition. So just to give you an example, like last month, the finance minister wanted to raise the VAT, which is like the sales tax, by 2%. But before he could do that, the opposition jumped in and said, "Hey, hold on, you're gonna influence so many people and people's lives." So they sat and discussed, and instead of increasing it by 2%, they got it to increase it by only 0.5%.
Okay, a little bit better.
Exactly. Not the best, but much better. So yeah, that's the environment where we are in at the moment.
Hey, I think world politics is just in upheaval right now. It really is. What can you say? What can you say? But look, tell everybody where they can find your books, and because you can get a whole set of them. And I think for the kids need good character life lesson books in this day and time. They really do. So tell everybody where they can find your books.
Okay, so all the books are available on Amazon in both ebook and paperback. They are also available directly from my website for those in South Africa or in Africa in general, where there's no Amazon available. And then I've also got them in ebook on a lot of other channels, it's called, I'm just trying to think, sorry, let me just pick up my paper here. It's called Draft to Digital. Yeah, I've got that on ebook, and then I've also got them on paid teachers, and the paperbacks are also available on Ingram's Pocket as well.
I saw that you get to go out and read to the kids sometimes. Is that a lot of fun for you?
Yep, I love that. So I do go out to book readings at schools, and that's like the highlight of my author career, basically.
So when do you have time to write besides being an accountant? Because that's a busy life right there in itself.
Exactly, yeah. I work late and I wake up early. So those are the two things. Yeah. So I just learned to divide my time between accountant, author, husband, dad.
Father, that's right. That's right. Exactly. So they can find all of your titles, and you write under K.A. Mulenga, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I'm on all social media as well.
All right. You ever come to America?
No, that's one place I really want to visit. Like I said, I've been to England, I've been to different parts of Africa. Yeah, and I'd love to come to the US one day.
All right. You never know. You'll have to look us up when you come, okay? This is Kalenga Mulenga, and he is a very passionate children's book author in South Africa. 40 published titles. They're all so cute and well done, and the titles are just amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, for getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning or 2:30 in the morning to talk with us, and all the best to you and your family.
Thank you so much, Ron.
Thank you. Thanks so much for joining me for Good News. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can reach out to me at goodnews@thepgnetwork.org. And of course, you can watch us on all streaming platforms. I'm Twanda Black, and I'll see you next time with some good news.